Hi everyone. It's been really long that I've made a video, and actually I've been very busy. I was actually thinking that this video is very important is because of the eclipse coming up. Firstly, there's a lunar eclipse which is coming up on the 5th and 5th of June, but it's not going to make much of a difference as such to our lives because it's not very significant. But anyway, so much so that any celestial change that we have, it doesn't go very well with our livelihood. Be it a full moon, be it a no moon, right from the sea getting the high tide and the low tide, and obviously we also get some people who are very emotional. They tend to feel this more. That is because it happens to everybody. Everybody feels that change, but more so people who are emotional because they feel they are more connected to the moon's changes, because moon is supposed to be the place. What we say is it rules our heart. In any way, we have an annular solar eclipse which is on the 21st, and we just had another solar eclipse which was on the 26th of December. I remember I was traveling and I was very apprehensive of traveling on that particular day. I was traveling for some ritual, but the only difference is, and we know exactly what happened after that. There's been we are going through a turmoil even now. But this is not going to be like that. This is not going to be as disastrous as that. Because the planetary positions are not really the same as it was at that point of time. But what we need to look at is between the time frame from 21st to another 6-7 days or 8 days, there would be some shift in some places. Probably something related to do with India-China relationship, probably getting worse because the eclipse is passing over that, and China and India would be both witnessing that. So what exactly happens during an eclipse, apart from the scientific positioning of the planets, casting a shadow, etc., etc.? When we have any kind of, for example, if you have a marine aquarium at home, you would see a little bit of the temperature difference that is there in the aquarium can make a fish die. You'll be surprised to know, even in the sea, just the effect of the high tide and low tide, so many fishes perish, they die, and of course we don't even get to know about it. So they are not being able to take the changes. Now what happens is, during an eclipse, a whole lot of microorganisms dying, and which we don't get to see with our naked eyes. There's been a lot of research. I think in the olden days, what our grandmothers knew. Today probably we have to do $1 million research for all that. They just knew it. You are not supposed to be eating during an eclipse. A lot of people say a lot of things why it shouldn't be done. The point is that people have been too educated now, because of their education, and you start feeling that everything is science, and there is no God, there are other energies are not really as good as the brain that works for you. So why we should not be eating? What happens during that time? So there's an enormous amount of microorganic death during this time, which happens and which is not really visible to our naked eye, and probably we are covered by it, you know. And what happens is, we say, since there's so much of muck on us, there's so much of contamination that's happening on us, and obviously the same goes with food as well. So it used to be said that you're actually supposed to cleanse yourself with from all the other things that are there, all the dirt that is accumulated on you right after the eclipse, and then only you should eat. Because I think you start aging faster. I mean, it's there in scriptures as well. During an eclipse, any kind of chanting that you do, any kind of other spiritual practices that you do, it has effects which are manifold, you know. I think people should be more focused on getting themselves spiritually more strong, and probably if they are planning to start any of the spiritual practices around that time, it's a great time. If you want to chant anything that you want to chant, if you've had an initiation, and if you are already practicing under your guru, I think, I'm sure you would be knowing about it already. So I would ideally prescribe that you should not be eating any food around that time, because what happens is our entire system goes through a turmoil. That is there in the Brihad Samhita, one of our ancient texts, which has the eclipse absolutely explained there. And it said that we are supposed to be going through some problems with our abdomen, and it gets weaker, and so we should not be eating. So everybody has said something different in different texts, but to sum it up all, it says that yeah, you should abstain from food. Ideally, you should abstain from going out if it is possible. So if you have the liberty to actually be at home and observe this the solar eclipse, the time of the solar eclipse, in a better way, in a spiritual way, in a more spiritual way, I think you're going to benefit. And since we are already going through a turmoil right now, let's keep ourselves protected. I think that'll be all for today.